Today is Saturday, March 8th. We are in Columbia Arena to bring you the 11th annual Fridley Invitational Hockey Tournament Bantam A action. Good evening, good morning. This is your Columbia Arena gang. I'm Pete Sweppy, and joining me in our gang today is number 9 best salmon fisherman in all downtown Fridley, Dick Welshans, and lively Larry Whitliff, who will be our color man and stat man. In today's game, we find revenge with Columbia Heights and Fridley teeing off in consolation actions in their quest for the consolation championship. Let's meet the Fridley Bantam A hockey team. At defense, number 2, Danny Allen. At goal, number 1, Eric Anderson. At forward, number 17, Kevin Anderson. At defense, number 3, Doug Ellefson. At forward, number 11, Craig Furstenberg. At forward, number 8, Scott Hansen. At forward, number 12, Eric Harstead. At forward, number 7, John Irwin. At forward, number 16, Jim Holmstrom. At forward, number 14, Josh Johnson. In goal, number 35, Joel Mans. At defense, number 4, Jeremy Meyer. At forward, number 15, Dennis Ricksham. At forward, number 9, Jim Saltness. At defense, number 6, Jason Vane. At defense, number 5, Rob Whitliff. And at forward, number 10, Jay Williams. Fridley is sponsored by VFW Post 363, located on Osborne Road and Highway 65. They are coached by the coach of the decade, Jim Negri, assisted by Bert Dahlquist, Bobby Tomczak, and Ben Varholt. Boy, what a combination there. And managed by Bill Williams. Larry, let me ask you, how did the kids do in their opening round?
Pete, they lost to a real fine North St. Paul team. This year's team has had worked very hard to be successful, and they're hoping today that they'll be able to do better. They have played Columbia Heights in league and lost previously both games during league play, but they're optimistic today that they can come out and be successful. Okay, Pete?
Thank you, Larry. On the other hand, Columbia Heights had a very heartbreaker, lost a heartbreaker in the opening game, 1-0 over Hopkins. Should be an excellent game facing up now as Fridley is being introduced. Starting in goal will be Eric Anderson. And number 3, Doug Ellefson at defense, joined by Rob Whitliff, number 5. And they will be joined by forward Eric Harstead, Dennis Ricksham, and Kevin Anderson. Let us remind you, Fridley hockey is played Tuesday nights on Channel 12 from 9 to 11, on Thursdays from 6 to 8, or 7 to 9, I beg your pardon, and on Saturday mornings 11:30 to 1:30. Our thanks to Channel 12, Debbie, Paula, and Audrey, for the use of their equipment. We hope as we wind up this year, we've done over 20 games on Channel 12, that you've enjoyed them. It's been exciting for us following these kids, and we hope that through our efforts, all Fridley hockey may benefit by watching. A coach can tell a kid all he wants, but a kid doesn't always believe him until he sees it on TV. Isn't that right, Larry?
That's true, Pete. A picture's worth 1,000 words. And now we're just about ready for the face-off.
Fridley controlling the face-off, back to Whitliff. Whitliff on the side, boards, fires it up, and now Fridley dumps it in. Windings, Ellison shot wide, comes out, high rebound, Whitliff pinching in, puck jumps his stick, Back to pick it up is number 17, Rick Sham. Now dumped in the corner by Rick Sham. Race for the puck. Heights gets there first. Held in momentarily by Fridley. Now Heights trying to break out. Over to forecheck. Fridley's number 12, Eric Harstad. Back to Ellefson. And now Heights dumps it in for a shot on goal. Easy save for Eric Anderson. Heights holds it in, fires it behind the net. Whitliff back to pick it up. Now being joined by Rick Sham. Puck out in front. Knocked to the side by Ellefson, and a face-off, along with new faces for Fridley. Out comes Holmstrom, Irwin, Allen, Furstenberg, and Hansen. Taking a face-off for Fridley will be number 8, Hansen. Hansen wins it, drives it back for Irwin. Irwin pounds it into the far corner. Fridley trying to break out. Heights holds it in. Now it's out. And starting off is Hansen. Heights breaks that, rush up. Now Heights back on the attack. Dumps a pass into the corner. Back to pick it up is Furstenberg. Furstenberg behind his own net. Outlet center, outlet pass, blocked by Heights. Heights, man in the slot. Just overshot. Back to a point. Big point. Clausen is his name. Shot on. Save. Puck behind the net. Boys having trouble locating it. And the puck's frozen. Allen's under it. He doesn't know where it is. And the referee now calls play. Kids look like they're skating fast today, Larry.
Yes, I thought that first line change was a real good line change. Looks like they were flying, coming back real hard. Right now, Heights has just scored a goal from the point. Just scored a goal. I believe that the goalie was screened slightly, but it was a nice shot from the point by Columbia Heights.
And tipped out in front. Right, Larry, it looked like Anderson was screened, and it looked like there was a tip on the far side of the net there that snuck in. So Fridley down 1-0, 10:05 remaining in the first period. This is Allen. Danny Allen rushing in. Backhand blocked by Heights. Heights trying to come out. Fridley forechecking hard. Over to pick it up for Fridley is number 6, Vane. Now delayed offside called. New lines for Fridley. We will have Vane and Williams taking this face off. Williams joined on one wing by Vane. The other wing is number 9, and I don't see Saltness, Jimmy Saltness, heavy winger. Saltness now in the forecheck. Heights comes up with it and centers it out. Ellefson reading that play very nicely. Had Heights man all tied up. Now Heights breaks in 2-on-2. Fridley breaks it up. Now Fridley on attack. 3-on-3. Williams behind the back pass. Shot and a goal! Williams firing it over to Fridley's number 6, Jason Vane, and Vane fires a wrist shot past the Heights goalie on the stick side to tie this game at 9-11.
Well, that was a nice play by Williams. He really made that play. He carried the puck in the zone. He brought a couple of people, got their attention, took them with him. Jason fouled the play up nicely, dropped the pass back, and just a nice soft shot. Really was on the ice all the way, but it went in, and that's what counts. It was just a real nice offensive play.
Now Williams circles, fires a pass up, hops Saltness stick, icing waved off. Heights in the corner, picks it up. Vane into forecheck. Now Saltness going in with his head down, and Heights player saw him and got out of the way. Here goes Williams to Saltness, back to Williams. Williams in, shoots, scores! Williams from Saltness at 8:28 remaining in the first period.
Well, that was real exciting. Again, it was a nice combination of give and go between Saltness and Williams. And again, it was not a real hard, heavy shot, but it was a nice shot, a nice play, and both of the forwards worked the puck real well back and forth and set up a goal.
That's exciting. I like the way Fridley attacked the net that time. Now, picking up the puck for Fridley is Ricksham. Ricksham coming in, and a high slot shot, loose puck on the doorstep, save, Heitz up with it. Now Heitz trying to break out. Puck hops, Irwin's stick, back to pick it up is Allen. Heitz gets their first centering pass out the high slot, comes out, goes past the neutral zone into the Heitz end. Forechecking for Fridley. Is a number 12, and we don't have a number 12. Guess we do. That's Harstead. Beg your pardon. Danny Allen back to pick it up. Allen's outlet pass is almost intercepted by Heitz. Now held in. Puck in the neutral zone. And picking it up for Fridley, number 15 is Ricksham. Drives it in. Fridley on a line change. Ellefson, Whitliff out on forwards. Now joined by Hansen. Hansen forecheck. And intercepted by Fridley's number 17, Anderson. Shot knocked down by the big Heitz defenseman. Now Whitliff pinches in. Heitz comes out. Heitz breaking in. 3-on-1. Fridley trying to get back into a shot. Fired high and wide. Centering pass. Anderson kicks it off to the high slot. Now Fridley back on an outlet. Fridley breaks up. Got Whitliff. Winds and dumps it behind the Heitz net. High rebound. Heitz gets there first. But checked off the puck. Hansen in the corner. In the high slot, Fridley's number 11, Furstenberg. And Fridley with another excellent scoring opportunity. Dumped in by Irwin. Irwin playing a heavy defense. Heitz playing a high wing. And back to read it was Allen. Now Irwin. He's knocked off the puck. Elbows up high. No call. Heitz intercepts. Comes in. Riding him off nicely there for Fridley was John Irwin. Now Fridley attacking. This is Furstenberg. Dumped at the line, and Allen carries it in offside. 6:03 remaining. Consolation action in the Fridley 11th Annual Invitational Hockey Derby. Tournament. I've got fishing on my mind, folks. Sorry about that. We might even talk about fishing a little later. This is Williams, Vane, and Saltness. Saltness breaks in, fires a shot, and scores at 5:59.
Nice effort by Jimmy Saltness, who's been a real aggressive player all year. He has good puck handling skills. He took carried the puck deep into the zone, offensive zone, and just put a nice low shot on the ice. And it was just a real difficult shot for a goalie to make. He has to use a skate or a stick save, and he got the shot off real quick, and the goalie just didn't react as quickly as he should have. Just a nice play on the part of Jimmy Saltness.
You know, Larry, I could tell on that play it was very exciting for Bobby Tomczak. We even got a reaction on him. He took his hands out of his pocket and went up and he scratched his chin. So I can tell he's all excited about that last goal.
Well, Bob is kind of a laid-back person, but he is, I think, very competitive. And I know this year, having had a son on the team, that he's been a little bit frustrated with their record. But so I'm sure that he's enjoying this early lead, 3-1 lead, and let's hope that they can continue to play well and pull out a win.
Larry, it's been a while since I've seen this Bantam team play, but I really like the way that they are attacking the net here, at least in the opening moments of this period. I felt that might have been a little bit of a weakness first time we saw them play, but they certainly aren't displaying that today.
Well, I'd agree. I think sometimes you can overcome in ability if you do not have a lot of real strong players. If you can play with a lot of enthusiasm and hustle and work hard, that you can overcome a lot of things. And early in this game, I think that has been the case, that Fridley has just simply worked up and down the ice. They've back-checked. They worked hard, and they've been shooting the puck, and that's one thing they haven't done also this year is they haven't had a lot of shots on goal. And some games maybe they could have 12, 13 shots, and that's just not enough. In this early period here, they've had several shots on net, and that certainly is a good sign for Fridley.
Certainly is. Puck held in by Whitliff. Whitliff slap shot fired wide. Now Ellefson holds it in. Up to Vane, off his stick. Heights comes up with it into the neutral zone. Nice takeout there by Rob Whitliff. And back to pick it up is Jimmy Saltness. Saltness fires pass around open wing, intercepted by Heights. And Ellefson doing a nice job of tying up the Heights forward right in the slot. Fridley breaks in. Pass onside, followed by Whitliff. Shot saved by Heights. Kick to the side. Rebound. No rebound. Heights picks it up. Vane in the forecheck. Now Heights trying to come out. And breaks out of neutral ice. 1-on-1. Saltness gets back. And Saltness hammers the Heights player right out of his skates with a heavy hit. Up to Williams. Williams with it. Williams 1-on-1. Saltness trailing. Williams pass to Saltness. Shot saved by Heights. Nice play. Again, Fridley. Oh, and a heavy hit we got. I'm afraid. Cross-checking being called here on John Irwin. Fridley bouncing Heights all over the ice, Larry. I guess that one could have gone either way.
Yeah, I thought it was really not a flagrant, but it was a charging call, and maybe John just took a couple too many steps. But John plays with a lot of intensity, and he's not afraid to go out there and hit people. And that's a good sign. I guess sometimes you're going to get some calls against you, but a lot of times that good aggressive play is going to get the job done.
Bobby Tomczak showing his confidence in this penalty kill team. I see now has his hands back in his pocket. Danny Allen back to pick it up. Joined on the ice by Kevin Anderson. And who else have we got? Rick Sham and Whitliff. Rick Sham in the corner. Drives it out. 1:45 remaining on Fridley's penalty. Another shot on goal for Fridley that time. Heights attacking in. Anderson tying his man up, but they dump it in. Back to pick it up is Whitliff. Whitliff reads the situation. Reads the play nicely. Reverses for Anderson. Now Anderson behind his net. Anderson. Bigger brother Shane, a defenseman for the Hill Murray team, which is playing Burnsville for the state championship tonight. And Allen clears it up to Anderson, and Anderson's clearing pass just barely makes the blue line. Now Allen with a takeout. Whitliff back to pick it up. Whitliff's clearing pass hit Anderson. Now Anderson in the corner. And looks for an opening and finds it and fires it in. Now 48 seconds remaining on the Fridley penalty. Williams is out. Ellefson is out. Heights is attacking. Heights 3-on-3. Fires a shot blocked by Rick Sham, I believe that was. Fridley fires it in. Heights goalie picks it up, dumps it in the corner. Heights reverses and tries an outlet pass. Now Heights breaking in on Fridley. 3-on-3. And that play broken up very nicely by Danny Allen. And up to Hansen. Williams, beg your pardon. Williams breaks in, shoots, and a save. Held in by Allen. His shot deflected wide. Fridley at full strength. Skated that penalty off very nicely. On the ice for Fridley, a high shot is Holmstrom. Holmstrom over to Hansen. Intercepted by Heights. Now back to Hansen. Now carried out by Harstead. And Heights dumps it back into the Fridley zone. Ellefson with it. Over to Harstead. Heights intercepts. Heights breaks in. Fridley getting back fast. Shot on. Comes across the goal mouth. And now reverse. Picking it up for Fridley is Holmstrom. And Holmstrom gets it out to neutral ice. and into the Fridley box.
Well, we have 1:47 remaining in the first period. The score is 3-1, and it's been a fun game. There's been quite a bit of skating up and down the ice. Both teams have had some chances. Probably the first period, Fridley probably has had a few more chances than the Heights, but Heights has a good team, and I'm sure they're going to come back and play a strong second and third period.
Forechecking is Hansen. Heights comes up with the puck. Now held in. Another patented Fridley Mack truck hit in this game. And we're going to have an offside, as Furstenberg got caught. Furstenberg, Hansen, Irwin, Whitliff, and Holmstrom. Hansen taking this face-off. Fridley controlling it. Now Heights intercepts it. Heights drives it up. Intercepted very nicely by Furstenberg, but his pass picked off by Heights. Now Heights trying to break in. Heights really floating a wing out high, Larry.
Yes, they are, Pete. I don't know if that's their offensive plan or if they're just trying to do that to get back in the ball game, being down 3-1. Sometimes you have to take some offensive chances and spread people out a little bit and hope that you can pop a quick one and get back in the game.
Well, that takes a little bit away from the Fridley offense too, because they have to float a defenseman out real high out of their zone.
That's true. That opens the game up a lot, and there they just had an opportunity. It was a nice play on the part of Eric Anderson and keeping the puck from out. And Irwin did a nice job in taking a man out. And Fridley right now is playing a little ragged. I hope they can make it through the last few seconds here of the first period.
Make it out. They're going to score, Larry. Nope. Ridden off. We had Saltness high in the slot. Now picked up by Ellefson. Ellefson back to Allen. 12 seconds remaining in the first period. Williams fires it in. Shot on goal. Dumped in the corner. And time's about to run out, and does so as Dan Allen stops the puck. And the players come over for some hockey stories from the man of the decade, the coach of the decade, the Babbitt Rabbit. Larry, shots on goal.
The summary of the first period, Fridley had 9 shots on goal and Columbia Heights had 3. And looking at the score in the first period, a quick summary, it would seem that Fridley did carry the play a little bit more. They had obviously some more chances and had more shots on goal than Columbia Heights. They played with a lot of intensity, and one of the things that I really liked about the first period was that they started to shoot the puck a little bit more. We've had some games where they only had 9 shots on net for the entire game, and now we have 9 shots for the first period. Also, there was some nice play between some of the forwards and moving the puck back and forth, and which set up a couple of their goals. And I thought they played a real strong first period. And I guess we'll just have to see what happens the next 2 periods. But it looks if they can continue that way, I'm sure they're going to come out okay.
That was a strong period, and while we wait for the players to hit the ice, we want to remind you this is the 11th annual Fridley Invitational Hockey Tournament. Board members: Dave Allen, Wayne Brandt, Chuck Dorcas, John Gargaro, Jim Golden, Mike Gorski, Jack McCarty, Ken Miller, Mike Palachian, Don Pullen, Bill Slinker, Gary Tollickson, Dick Welshens, Bill Williams, and the tournament chairman is none other than Brian Hardy. Okay, Negri sends out the line of Williams, Saltness, Williams on the attack. But Saltness in a high slot shot, just missing. Vane there to back it up. Now Heights attacking. And Ellefson gets there, breaks that play up. Heights man caught offside. So Fridley gets a chance to reorganize and regroup. This is, without question, one of the finest tournaments in the state of Minnesota. Bar none, always has been. And this year's event is also shaping up to be the same. A lot of work going into a tournament. Not only do teams have to be invited and respond and get selected, but there's a lot of advertising, there's ice to organize, there's trophies that must be subscribed to. A lot of details, and not only do the guys do all the work, but the moms and girlfriends are also involved heavily in this tournament, where they make up a lot of the incidentals and prepare all the food for the boys. Shot fired in by Saltness. Now Heights comes out and attacks. Forechecking for Fridley is Ricksham, and Ricksham with a takeout. I don't know if you can take him out any heavier than that. Allen winds up and gets a whiff on goal. Almost a goal. Fridley a little disorganized now, trying to regroup. Allen's backhand knocked down by the defense, never reached the goal. Puck intercepted by Fridley, and Ricksham with a heavy hit. Heights breaks in, shot on, save, kicked in the corner by Anderson. A lot of goaltending isn't necessarily just a save, but it's where you put that shot after it's fired on you. Over in the corner. Now behind the net, shot fired and a score. Fridley getting a little sloppy there with their takeout play. Heights intercepts it, comes up and capitalizes to make the score 3-2. 10:03 remaining in the second period. So we got a new center here, Larry. Rick Sham played much center before this year?
No, he hasn't. I believe this is the first time that he's played center. I don't know exactly why, but he has not played center previously, to my knowledge.
Yeah, I thought that might be a new position for him. Okay, Fridley coming out. And Heights comes up with it. Heights on a breakaway. Shot and a save, rebound, and another save. Oh, what excellent goaltending there by Eric Anderson. Puck's loose in a slot, backhand, and a score by Heights to tie this game. The puck was covered, I thought, Larry, but we didn't hear the whistle.
No, I think the puck was actually was not covered. The goalie, the referee was in good position to see the puck, and here in the last minute or so, Fridley has just got a little bit carried away and got away from, I think, their game plan and doing a lot of running around and mishandling the puck, and they just got to settle down and get back to playing the kind of hockey they did first period. But right now it's a new game. It's 3-3, and they're just going to have to get back together and start playing as a team.
Heights breaks in again. Another save by Anderson. And the puck's out in front again. Driven off by Ellefson. Can't find the puck. Now Hansen comes up with it. Heights gets it. And we got a delayed penalty coming up. Cross-checking on Fridley. So Heights, with the momentum in this game at this point, now going on a power play. As Ellefson gets a cross-check. Out on the ice for Fridley is Irwin. See who comes off. Looks like Hansen's coming off, so we have Holmstrom. This is Holmstrom. Holmstrom breaking in, and he's checked off the puck. Holmstrom still has it. Got Saltness out there. Beg your pardon, Furstenberg. Holmstrom still with the puck. Tries to bring it out in front. Heights goalie knocked that behind. But Fridley there to pick it up. Furstenberg killing time. Furstenberg, three Heights players. And Furstenberg still has it. Furstenberg and Holmstrom. Excellent job of killing this penalty off and forechecking. Now Whitliff holds it in. Fridley with a shot, and Holmstrom checked just as he's firing. Fridley still holding it in. Irwin drives it in. Now behind the net, 1:09 remaining. The first minute on this penalty's been played in the Heights end, and Heights defenseman knocks that down. Fridley coming off for new gas. On the ice is Saltness. Furstenberg's pass knocked down by a defenseman. Now Heights comes up with it. 47 seconds remaining. And Heights breaks out. Fridley got 3 men back. Williams now on the ice. And Heights comes up with it. Fires, and it's saved with a rebound right across the crease. Williams with it. Drives it out, and now into the neutral zone with a half a minute remaining. Intercepted by Saltness. Saltness in all by himself. Fires and scores. Oh, what a play by Fridley's Jim Saltness.
Jim did a real nice job that time anticipating, and there was a good lesson there in that the defense, number 8 for Columbia Heights, had control of puck and made a pass behind his back without looking, and Jimmy anticipated that he was going to go to the other opposite defenseman, stepped in between the two, picked the pass up, and had a nice clean breakaway, and with his good puck handling skills, he was able to put it in the net.
13 seconds remaining on Fridley's power play, or penalty kill. That was Saltness' second goal of this game. We know who's going to be looking for the next one, Larry. Now Fridley just about to come to full strength. Fridley is at full strength. Saltness breaks in. Saltness comes in, checked off the puck. Fridley changing lines. Saltness comes out with it. I don't know if the coach of the decade would approve of that move, but he sure approved of that breakaway goal he is a little earlier. Now held in by Whitliff. Whitliff fires it behind the net for Williams. Williams up with it. Saltness drives it behind the net. Heights gets there first. Bain camped in the slot. Saltness reverses for Williams. Is checked off the puck. Now the puck over in the near corner. Heights gets there first. Bain in for checking. Bain joined by Williams. Saltness comes up with it. Point open. Back to Whitliff. Whitliff over to Irwin. Irwin back to... And it hops a stick. Back to nobody, I guess. But Saltness comes up with it. Saltness, Fridley, 3-on-2 to Williams. And just as Saltness' pass to Williams was checked off, heavy hit by Saltness. Driven in. Heights player slow getting up. Saltness has got it. What a heavy winger he is. And the puck squirts by Williams as he got tied up on the red line. Now out in the neutral ice. Heights comes up with it. Who we got back? Ellefson. Heights fires a shot. Tipped wide. And Williams breaks out. Checked off the puck. Followed up by Saltness. To Williams. Williams around one defenseman. Williams coming in. Centering pass. Hits the side of the net. Heights coughs it up. And holding it in was Ellefson. His shot knocked down by the Heights defenseman. And where you got a shot on goal from behind Fridley blue line, or Heights blue line. Now in the corner, Anderson over to pick it up. Anderson with the puck. Long pass over here on the near wing for Harstad. But Heights intercepted it. Now Ellefson pounds it to the side. Rick Sham over there. Shot on. Allen picks it up. The rebound. And Heights holds it back in. Drives it behind the net. Ellefson over to an open wing. Nobody home for Fridley. Back to Ellefson. Heights with some pressure now. Centering pass comes out. And goalie Eric Anderson decides to hold up play. A goalie can help a team out so much when he has a chance either to have a rebound or to cover the puck. And that time Anderson reading it very well, Larry.
Yes, Eric is kind of coming back after had a shoulder injury in the Rochester tournament, and this, I believe, he just started coming back at the beginning of this tournament. So it's nice to see him back playing. He's a good, solid little goalie, and it's important for goalies to certainly follow the puck and be ready for the unexpected, because a lot of times the unexpected are the things that result in goals, and that time he was real sharp in keeping with the puck and making a good play.
Looks like we have Anderson, Ricksham at center, and Harstead on one wing. Picking up is Irwin. Whitliff sent flying. Puck comes out in a high slot shot, rebound. Heights now attacking. And Anderson kicks the puck out to neutral ice. Heights comes up with it. Now far board. Oh, and we got another penalty coming up on Fridley. John Irwin is going as Anderson touches the puck. Referee blows the whistle, and I think we got probably checking from behind there, Larry.
Irwin, I believe this is his second penalty. He's playing with a lot of enthusiasm, and he's been very aggressive this game. He's a boy that has played forward most of the year, and I think they just switched him back to defense recently. He has played defense in previous seasons, and he just got a little bit too aggressive, but he's doing a nice job back there playing defense.
So Fridley ahead 4-3, 3:37 remaining in the second period. Whitliff behind the net, trying to ice it out, but Heights comes up with it, overskated, picked up by, I believe that's Hansen, and Hansen drives a shot on Heights goalie. A little trouble with that one. Got a penalty coming on Heights. So we've got some exciting hockey action about to take place. When both teams are down 4-on-4, anything can happen.
Well, it makes it a little different game because there's a lot of open ice, and of course coaches like to have their better skaters out there because of the open ice. You have a lot more freewheeling and individualism, but at the same time you can't get away from your basic responsibilities of playing good position.
Allen and Ellefson along with Hansen and Holmstrom. Heights wins the face-off. Heights with a slashing penalty. Heights drives it in, and we're going to have icing. So right now, in a minute and 26 seconds, Fridley will come out and have a 21 second power play. Got to be careful how my additions and subtractions go here in this game because we have a school teacher in the booth with us and a plumber. Not so worried about the plumber. All he has to know is that something runs downhill, you lock your toolbox up at 3 and you're into the shop at 4:15 in time to go home. But the school teacher, on the other hand, he will correct you. Amen. Hansen wins this face-off. Drives it back for Ellefson. Shot fired wide. Ellefson, nice high cannon that time. Heights breaks out. Allen rides his man off nicely. And Fridley overskates it. Ellefson there to drive it in. Beg your pardon, that wasn't Ellefson. That was number 3. Ellefson, I did get that right. Holmstrom with it. Centering pass for Hansen. Came out a little bit faster than Hansen wanted. Now Heights breaks up 2-on-1. Who's back for Fridley? Fridley changing lines as Ellefson slowed that play up enough that they couldn't get a decent shot on net. Now Heights with it. Over to their big point. He scored one already today. Shot fired, glove by Eric Anderson. Out comes Williams and Vane, new forwards. They are joined by Allen and Whitliff. Penalty time down to 27 seconds for Fridley. 2:05 remaining in the second period. Williams with the face-off. Heights wins it. Fires a shot over the net. And intercepted by Allen. Allen breaks out. Fridley 2-on-2. This is Williams. His shot fired high. Came up a little higher than Williams wanted it. Held in by Whitliff. Now jumps his stick. Allen back. Heights 2-on-2. Shot fired, deflected wide. Heights follows up, has their own rebound. Takes a shot, comes across the goal mouth as Fridley's defense tying the Heights forwards up nicely. Heights is skating off the penalty. Fridley's supposed to be on the power play, and they are. This is Saltness. Williams trailing. Behind the back pass for Williams. Williams shot and a goal. 1:16 of the second period. Williams from Saltness.
Well, I think what happened there is that Columbia Heights was a man short. It got a little bit over-aggressive in their offensive zone and gave Fridley some trouble and had some chances, but they got two people in quite deep, and with only 4 players on ice because of the penalty, Fridley got behind their forechecking forwards and got a nice clean breakout, and it was a real nice passing play between Williams and Jimmy Saltness, and Williams put the puck in the net, and it was a real nice play, and that certainly puts Fridley back into a nice position, a 5-3 lead with a little bit over a minute left in the second period.
Saltness picks up a clearing pass and fires a cannon past the Heights goalie for his hat trick at 1:01 in the second period.
That was a real nice shot by Jimmy. Jimmy's a real aggressive player, and he's a really complete player. He's got good size, fairly good speed, and he works extremely hard, and he's got a lot of good habits out there. But one of the things I like about him is he's a very aggressive and hard-working player, back both in forechecking and back checking, and he's real deserving of that hat trick. He's worked hard all year, and I believe this might be the first hat trick he's had all year.
Oh, Anderson with a couple of nice saves. Now he kicks the puck out into the corner. At 42 seconds remaining, puck tied up. We're going to have a face-off in the Fridley end. Anderson, Ricksham, and Harstead out. Anderson getting a little busy down there. Eric Anderson in the last few seconds here, coming up with some nice point-blank saves. And there's another Irwin patented hit today. He's really bouncing those Heights players all over. And Anderson, for caution, covers up. He doesn't want Heights getting any last-second goals here in the second period. Fridley exploding in this second period, after Heights scoring the first 2 goals of the period to tie the game up. Fridley coming back with 3 unanswered. Ricksham with the face-off. Heights wins it, controls it, rotates it over to 1 point, fires shot on, and a nice kick out by Anderson into the far corner to Ricksham. Ricksham's got it. Ricksham breaks up ice. Got Anderson in front. Up to Anderson. Didn't see it. Irwin with it. Waits for Fridley players to get onside. Now fires it in. Heights comes up with it. And Kevin Anderson has it. To Ricksham. Gets a shot away. And time runs out in the second period with Fridley ahead 6-3.
Well, Heights came out real strong that second period, and early in the period tied the game up with a lot of aggressive play in the Fridley end. The game about midway through the second period, the game was 3-3, and it looks like the momentum was somewhat swinging in favor of the Heights. But momentum is kind of a funny thing. It can be with you 1 minute and not the next. And during the latter part of the second period, Fridley got a goal and started to pick up the pace a little bit, get back to their game plan, and consequently they ended up with a 6-3 margin at the end of the second period. The scoring was this period was 7:20 Saltness, unassisted, 1:16 Williams from Saltness, and 1:01 Saltness again. Jim has got a hat trick this game, and this really has been a really solid effort on the Fridley team. This is I've watched them quite a bit this year, and they've played a real solid game so far. Fridley had 7 saves and shots rather, and Heights had 10. And the totals after the second period are 16 for Fridley and 13 for Heights. So it's a relatively close game on shots, but the score is 6-3 right now, and Fridley has a real comfortable lead. Let's see what they can do the third period.
Rick Sham, joined by Anderson and Harstead. Points are Allen and Irwin. Irwin with a nice takeout. Allen back to pick it up. Anderson covering loose swing for Heights in the slot. Reverses. Outlet pass to Rick Sham. Center outlet. Rick Sham coming up ice. It's got Anderson and Harstead. Over to Harstead, little behind him. In the corner, Heights gets there. Reverses. Outlet pass held in by Irwin. Irwin fires a shot on, knocked down by Heights' big defenseman. Boy, that kid's big enough to play for the high school. In fact, he could play for the North Stars. He's got some real size to him. Now cleared off to the side here by Irwin. Puck comes out in front of the Heights bench. And picked up by Anderson. Anderson up to Harstead. To Rick Sham. Rick Sham ridden off the puck. In the corner, Rick Sham follows it. Heights gets there first. Whitliff holds it in. Whitliff, kick pass over to Anderson. Back to Whitliff. Intercepted by Heights. Rick Sham and Anderson just sandwiched the Heights player down. And he really got rattled on that hit. Those are two big boys to be hitting you. Now over to Harstead. Harstead looks for an outlet. Checked off the puck. Harstead in the corner with it. And a whistle as the referee lost sight. Out comes Holmstrom and Furstenberg. And Hansen will be the center as Whitliff. And I believe that's Irwin are on the points. Ellefson, beg your pardon, that's Ellefson. Nobody controlling the face-off. Now Whitliff does. And we go into the boards. Picked up by Holmstrom. Holmstrom breaks out. Got Furstenberg. And his pass intercepted by Heights. Heights drives it back in. Ellefson in the corner to pick it up. And he's ridden off of the puck. Heights comes up with it. Centering pass in the high slot. Now Fridley trying to clear it. And they do so. But Heights checks him off the play. Held in by Hansen. Gets a shot away. Saved by Heights. Fridley player lost his stick behind the play. We got Allen now out on the ice. Heights reversing. 9.5 minutes remaining in the third period. Heights comes out. Voids a check by Furstenberg. Furstenberg went after that big Heights defenseman. Shows that he's not afraid of his size. Allen back to pick it up. Allen, outlet pass to Holmstrom. Holmstrom breaks in, intercepted by Heights. Now Heights dumps it in. Puck hops Irwin's stick. Back to Furstenberg. Now into neutral ice. Heights controlling it. And fires a shot in, saved by Eric Anderson. Behind the net for Irwin. Irwin's pass a little too far for Holmstrom. Picked up by Heights. Shot on. Glove save. .8:47 remaining as we see Vane, Williams, and Saltness coming out. Jay Williams, the son of a pretty good salmon fishing father. Not as good as number 9, and of course not as good as number 1. But he's working at it. I guess if you could give him an A for effort, we'd give him an E for effort. Someone made a comment. This is Williams. Breaks in. Round 2 men. Centering pass for Saltness a little behind him. Saltness in the corner. Saltness rides the Heights defenseman off. And he could come up with that puck yet. No, Heights does. Now Heights are breaking loose. Pass deflected enough by Fridley's back checking to slow that play down. Fridley comes up with this is Irwin. Fires a shot in on goal. Another save by the Heights goalie. Behind the net, Williams in the forecheck. Heights gets there first. Now Heights breaks out. Fridley, 4 men back. And a puck fired in behind the Fridley defenseman, overskated by the Heights player and by Saltness. I think the Heights player wanted out when he saw Saltness coming at him. Fridley's outlet pass a little too far. Heights captures it. Held in by Fridley. Now Heights breaks out. And again, Fridley sandwiches a Heights player between the two of them and fires a shot on there by Heights. Allen behind his net. And Anderson helps Allen clear the puck over here to Vane. Behind him. Vane breaks in. Dumps the puck. Heights there to pick it up. Saltness with another hit behind the play. I think Fridley's still trying to soften up these Heights players, Larry, as we see 7 minutes remaining in the third period.
Well, they sure haven't slackened off in their intensity and hitting. They've used the body really effectively this game, and maybe that's been the margin of difference because Heights during their District 10 play had, I think, had 2 wins over Fridley, but this is a little bit of certainly satisfying to be ahead 6-3 with a little over 6 minutes left in the game.
Anderson with a backhand shot right on the goal step, saved by Heights. Now Heights clears it. Goes the length of the ice. It will be icing, and icing is called as Rob Whitliff picks it up. 6:24 remaining. Coming up, folks, on the third week or fourth week of March will be Channel 12's telethon. We invite you to stay tuned and join in the festive fundraising activities. We hope to be able to help them out here by getting some Fridley hockey personalities on the program. And we solicit your call-in inquiries. Anderson, around one man. Anderson breaks up to Whitliff. Fridley 3-on-2. Whitliff looking for someone to pass to. He's tied up. Centering pass and a goal by Anderson. Oh, did Whitliff hold on to that puck, and he finally let her fly as Anderson came cruising right up the slot and stuffs a backhand past Heights.
Well, the play started really deep down in the Fridley zone. It was a real good rotation between a forward and a defenseman. It started with Whitliff and Anderson rotating positions, and then a kind of Whitliff took control of the puck at mid-ice, brought in the zone. Anderson moved into a scoring position and received the puck and put it right in the corner for a nice play.
That was a nice play. Now Whitliff in the corner. Fridley enjoying. Centering pass comes out, and I guess that was Irwin tying up that a big center for Heights very nicely. He couldn't get a shot on goal. Otherwise, Anderson would have been praying for a save. Fridley, new players on the ice is Furstenberg and Ricksham. Ricksham drives a shot in, knocked down by the Heights defense. Now Heights back on the attack. Fridley trying to complete their line change and do so as Hansen steps on. Allen picks the puck up. Allen over to Harstead. Harstead's clearing pass, knocked down. Harstead recaptures it. Heights holds it in, fires a shot, deflected wide. In the corner is Allen, and Allen gets hit with a high elbow, and he's knocked off his wheels. And Anderson covers. 4:42 remaining. Thought we probably should have had an elbowing call there, Larry.
Well, it was a real solid check by the Heights person, and it's been a real fun game. It's been an aggressive game. Both sides have used the body fairly well. We still have 4 minutes left.
Excellent refereeing in this game, I might comment. Referees have allowed both teams to play a physical game, which I think is the game plan of both teams, and a relatively clean game throughout. Now Heights comes up with it, ridden off, on the doorstep, shot fired, rebound, save. And the puck squirts behind the net. Now Fridley on the attack. This is Furstenberg. Furstenberg couldn't pass it over to Holmstrom, so he dumps it in the corner instead. Furstenberg up with it. Knocked off the puck by Heights. Back to Whitliff. Whitliff drives it on. And now Heights comes up with it. Heights. 1-on-1. Now Fridley getting back. Ellefson riding his man off excellently and tying him up as the puck is caught under the Heights player. Excellent defensive play there by Ellefson. He's done that more than once today.
Doug is a real solid defenseman. He skates extremely well backwards. He has good puck handling skills. He shoots the puck well. He's a real good hockey player, and he's only a first-year player, so I think he has a lot of good things in front of him.
Hansen wins this face-off, gets it back to Ellefson. Ellefson up to Furstenberg. Furstenberg writes his man off, and that allows Whitliff to come up with the puck. Kids are playing together very well here. I'm very impressed. It's an exciting game. It's fun to watch. Now Heights breaks in on a high slot backhand, saved by Anderson. Rebound behind the net. Heights comes up with it. Hansen gets there time to break that play up. Now, shot on. Anderson down. But Furstenberg up with the puck. Furstenberg racing down ice. Offside. About to be called and is called as Holmstrom touches the puck. Now we have Vane, Saltness, and Williams. With two brackets of Bantams in this tournament, Fridley will come out and have to play what, Larry? One more game tomorrow?
Yes, I believe that's correct, Pete.
We'll check that for you at the end of the game here. Whitliff breaks in. Shot knocked down by Heights defense. Held in by Vane. Got camera problems here. Now we're back. Cameraman fell out. Elbows high. And a whistle as the referee lost sight of the puck. We almost lost our tripod. So please pardon our little delay there. Looking at the schedule here, Fridley's win here will place them in a 7:30 a.m. game tomorrow for the Consolation Championship of the Upper Division. And if they win that, at 3 p.m. tomorrow afternoon, they will play for the overall tournament Consolation Championship. Assuming they can hold on to a 7-3 lead with 2:25 remaining. Centering pass comes out. Vane ties his man up. Allen reverses for Irwin. Irwin almost pushes the Heights player through the glass. Heights intercepting it. In the corner for Whitliff. And that pass knocked down by Williams. Whitliff with it. Up to Williams. Williams streaks up ice. Fridley 3-on-3. Williams to Vane. And it picked off by Heights. Now a minute 47 remaining in the game. Heights drives it in. Back to pick it up for Fridley is Ellefson. Ellefson ridden off the puck, but not until he gets it up to Saltness. Saltness to Williams. Williams, Saltness, and Vane. 3-on-3. And Heights comes up with it again. Held in, picked up by Allen. Now to Williams. Williams around one man. Williams breaks in for Saltness. Puck comes off his stick. Now Heights drives it in the corner. Allen picks it up. Allen to Saltness. Saltness streaks up ice. To Williams. He's checked off. Followed up by Vane. Heights comes up with it. Held in by Allen. Allen holds it in and fires a shot. Narrowly misses the net. Fridley looking for more as 50 seconds remain in the game. Now Irwin holds it in. Vane reverses. His shot knocked down by Heights defenseman. Picked up by Ricksham. Now Ricksham in, and his shot knocked down by a Heights defenseman. To Whitliff. Over to Irwin. Irwin back to Whitliff. Fridley just trying to kill a little time right now. Big hit there by Harstead, only he was on the hittee end. He was not the hitter. Now Kevin Anderson fires a shot on wide, and time's about to run out as Fridley wins 7-3 consolation action of the 11th annual Fridley Invitational Hockey Tournament. We hope to have an interview with the coach of the decade following this game. But as usual, he's very unpredictable. Larry will be giving you the third period and game summaries here in one moment.
Well, total shots on goal for Fridley. Fridley had 21 shots on goal, as opposed to Columbia Heights had 18 shots on goal. First, Fridley had started off with a 3-1 lead. Columbia Heights came back and tied it up 3-3. And then Fridley had a late surge in the second period and the third period, and the final score was 7-3 Fridley. I thought this was one of the better games that Fridley played. There was just a short time, I thought, in the second period where they started to do some running and got a little disorganized and got away from their general game plan, but they seemed to be able to come back and get back to what basic position play that they should be playing. And Jimmy Saltness in particular had a real strong game. He got a hat trick, and a lot of players I thought played beyond themselves today. Overall the team did extremely well, and I think that kind of coincides with this particular week because we have the state high school hockey tournament going on, and plus this excellent tournament here in Fridley where you have two rinks and games going on both rinks continuously, and it's just a big hockey week. And I think a lot of the hockey players really get pumped up this week, and if they really enjoy the game, they go out and give it everything they have. And I think that was the case here today with Fridley defeating Columbia Heights 7-3. And I'll turn back over to Pete.
You know, Larry, what's amazing is that we can do a telecast of this game, the old Columbia Arena gang, and we don't need tuxedos to bring on excitement. I think that's just a phony issue, as the sports commentators on one other channel must do to bring excitement to the game, and that's to dress up in tuxedos of all things.
Well, that's true. There's probably some truth in that, and I guess I'd like to take a minute here to really thank Pete and Dick and Jack McCarty because and Bill Williams, because they do a tremendous job, and Bill Bailey of bringing these games to the people at Fridley. I know the players enjoy seeing themselves on television, and this is something that they do very willingly, and they appear to enjoy doing it. And even though some of them have boys that have moved through the programs or in a higher division in the overall hockey scene here in Fridley, they continue to give their time and bring these games. And I think it's really nice. I don't know how many games they've done this year, but I heard Pete mention earlier it was in excess of 20 games. And so that's a lot of time that they give to this, and they take a lot of pride in doing a good job. And I know that a lot of the Fridley parents and hockey people that support Fridley overall, and plus the players, really enjoy seeing themselves on television.
Well, thank you, Larry. Those are mighty friendly and kind comments, and we appreciate it. And we too hope that through our efforts, it does add to Fridley hockey, the excitement of it, the excitement of playing it, and maybe also to the schooling and the development of our hockey players. I think that we are going to have a washout on the coach of the decade showing up for an interview. So let me remind you that Fridley hockey is shown on Channel 12, everybody's channel in Fridley. Tuesday evenings from 9 to 11. Thursdays from 7 to 9. And Saturday afternoons from 11:30 in the morning until 1:30. Even though the hockey season is over, Channel 12 will retain some of our hockey tapes on file, and you can request them even into the summer if you so wish, on those hot summer evenings when you recall your past winter at the arena. Call them up, ask for your favorite game. On behalf of our Columbia Arena gang, consisting of number 9 best salmon fishermen in all of downtown and uptown Fridley, Dick Wilshins and lively Larry Whitliff, this is Pete Sweppy. Have a good evening, a good morning, a good day. So long, everybody.